Are you serious? Are you serious? Welcome to the coming apocalypse. I'm Pastor Paul Begley, and we do have a coming apocalypse. We don't just say that. It's on the way. And Apophis, the god of chaos, this huge asteroid that's going to come very close to the earth. Folks, this is serious. I'm going to tell you why. And NASA is nervous. But first, put a shout out right now for www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. That's www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. What a great time to get the end of the year savings. Mike Lindell, he is a great guy, and he has offered unbelievable prices. He has cut prices like you wouldn't believe. For instance, the MyPillow Down Comforter, which is normally $499. He's cut that thing down to $199. The pillows, the MyPillow 2.0, it was $79.99. Now it's $39.98. The sheets, he's drastically cut those prices. All those Giza sheets and the other blankets and the towel set and the slippers. And on and on and on. Guys, seriously, it just everywhere, everything. End of the year savings. Here's what you do. You got to go to www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul and get these savings, all right? You'll be glad you did. All right, well, what a great broadcast last night. You know, what a great broadcast last night. No doubt about that. And we did. A lot of people got saved. People are still getting saved. Actually, in the chat room, in the comments after the fact, okay, they're still getting saved. So we just praise God for that. And don't forget, it's the end of the year. This is the 29th of December, so you got 3 days left. If you want to send in your end of the year special offering, you want to plant a seed going into next year in 2024. You want to thank the Lord for bringing you through 2023, the good health he's given you. Some of you you've got good jobs. Some of you, your businesses have done well. You've been blessed, and you may be in a position where you are going to need to look. You're either going to write a check to the IRS or you can write a check to the Lord and send in your offering, end of the year offering, and your end of the year blessing. I want you to receive that. I'll be praying over those on Sunday night, the 31st, on New Year's Eve. But let me say this. Give, and it shall be given unto you, Jesus said, pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men give into your bosom. So it is a great thing to do. And let's keep winning souls to Christ. You can send it right now to paulbegleyprophecy.com, or you can text give, as you see at the bottom of the screen. That's another way to do it. And just text give an offering, easy, at 765-722-2549. You see that right there. Or you can just pick up the phone and call in the main line. Just call the main line, 765-414-2230, and say, look, I would like to give an offering tonight. Right now, I'd like to give an offering over the phone. You can do that. Now, let me tell you what's going on with this Apophis situation. This is incredible, and there's two things I need to pull up. One over here that I've been holding back on, but now I'm not going to hold back on no more. Let me find it. And let me get it. I've got it here. Here it is. Apophis. I've been talking about this asteroid. Guys, since I went on the air on YouTube almost 14 years ago. I've been studying this since it was first discovered by NASA in 2004. Back in 2004, when they did their calculation, it came out that Apophis had a 2.7% chance of hitting the Earth. Now, in 2014, they revised their calculations and said, no. It's going to barely miss the Earth, and it's going to barely miss by 18,000 miles from the surface of the Earth. Now, here's the thing. All your satellites that are circling the Earth, they are circling at 22,000 miles from the surface of the Earth. That means Apophis, this huge 1,100 feet, this enormous 3 football fields plus stadiums, stadium-sized rock is going to come closer to the Earth than the satellites that surround us. It's going to break through them and come drastically close, so close that it will be visible. That's according to NASA right now. And matter of fact, NASA has just launched, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. NASA has just sent up a spaceship. They've named it Osiris, and they sent this asteroid. They've sent this spaceship right toward the asteroid. They know it's coming. It's called, its name is Apophis, which means the god of chaos. Here's another thing. It's going to go past the Earth. It's going to skim past, if they're right on their calculations, it's going to barely skim past the Earth by 18,000 miles, visible by eye if you're in Australia. And it's going to be Friday the 13th, 2029. Friday the 13th, April the 13th, 2029. April the 13th, 2029 on a Friday. Now, and it's the god of chaos, and it's coming. And so NASA's so nervous that they just sent a spaceship craft in. They just launched it on December 22nd. And this spacecraft is headed straight toward Apophis to get a very, very much closer look at it so they can recalculate the actual distance between us and this thing. Now, in Egyptian mythology, Apophis is the serpent-shaped god, an embodiment of darkness and disorder, which seeks to eradicate the world. Thankfully, the asteroid bearing its name has no such intention, you hope. But like Earth, Apophis orbits the sun, and now and again, it almost comes into contact with our planet. But on Friday the 13th, April the 13th, 2029, this 50 million ton asteroid is expected to get within 18,000 miles of the surface of the Earth. And the gravitational pull on it is a concern for scientists, that the Earth's gravitational pull might pull it on in and hit. Okay, that is one concern. But there's another concern, folks. There's another concern. This is, and that is, what if the calculation's wrong? What? What if the calculation is wrong? Because in 2004, when they first spotted it, the calculation said it was going to barely miss us. As a matter of fact, it had a 2.7% chance it was going to hit us. And then in 2014, they said, no, it's going to barely miss us by 18,000 miles, skimming past. Huge rock. You could see it with the naked eye as this thing goes soaring by. But what if the calculation's wrong? So I received a letter. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here it is. I received a letter from a man who had sent a letter to President Donald Trump just before Trump left office, in which he said, Mr. President, the calculation of pi is wrong. Pi. Now, pi, and those of you who are mathematicians, or a lot of you out there have studied, you know that pi is 3.144605511, and on and on and on. Pi, 3.14, let's say, 3.14. Based on pi, they calculated Apophis headed in this direction. And using the pi as the equation they were measuring, they were able to figure out that this asteroid, Apophis, is going to miss the Earth by 18,000 miles as it skims by on April the 13th, 2029. Here's the problem. How did you come up with pi? When did we come up with pi? The calculation of pi. Well, that was done in about 1940 using a gram, the weight of a gram, and figuring out, once you created a scale, figuring out what that would divide into, and it came out to 3.144, okay? And so here's the thing. When they took this little piece, this metal piece, a little weight, and made the gram, then they put it away. They put it in a sealed and put it away, and they never touched it for 40 years. Then they went and got it and put it on the scale again to see if a gram still equals a gram. It should, right? It didn't. It changed. It changed. And it was off a little. Well, if the gram is off a little, then it will affect what pi's actual equation number is, because pi was based on the perfect weight of a gram. Now, the scientists who figured this out are freaking out, and they began to do everything they could to say, well, with this new weight of the gram, what is pi? Because pi is not 3.144 now. It's not. It can't be. So they did a recalculation of pi, and it came out that pi is actually, now pi is 3.44, on and on and on. Not 3.14, but 3.44. So this is unbelievable. But then you take pi's new calculation, and I'm giving you the real elementary version here. I've got the entire equation here. You could study it. They show you how they did the equation. They show you how they measured it. They show you all about with the gram. And they figured out, okay, pi is wrong now. Pi is not the same as it was, and it is different. It's now 3.44 and change. Let's take that new. Yes, the actual ratio of circumference to diameter is 3.14. It's actually 3.141592654. Okay? But that's not what it is now. That's based on the original correct weight of a gram. You say, well, a gram's a gram. No, it's not now. The Earth, whether it's a magnetic pull, whether it's the shift of that, maybe because of, I don't know, Nibiru, Planet X, whatever it is, it's affected that the gram is no longer a gram. So when they took and figured out, then what is pi with this new weight of gram, it is 3.44 and change. It's not the same as it was. So then the scientists said, well, what happens if we take this new calculation of pi, 3.44 and change? Well, when they took that, it ends up that the trajectory of the Apophis is off. It's not going to come within 18,000 miles of the Earth. It is a glancing blow or a hit. So the question is, which calculation is correct? It really is quite an extraordinary. And a letter was sent to President Donald Trump explaining this. And what this means of the possible deep impact of pi, the changing of pi, by going with the new calculation of pi. What does that do to the potential, and I said it was a gram, but it's a kilogram. The redefining of the new kilogram was done in November of 2018. And when you do, you find out that it is what they did was they had to make a perfect isotope or a perfect sphere. And when they did, then what they had been using for a kilogram was off, just barely, but it's still off. And when you take that new calculation, pi is then off. Pi is no longer 3.14459, on, but it's 3.44. And so this is an incredible. Here's what it is. Here's pi. Pi is right now 3.14592654. Here's what the new pi is. I was wrong when I said 3.4. The new pi is 3.144605511. I'm gonna type it in the thing because what I said and what it actually is wrong. Here's the old pi. 3.141592654. This is the old pi. Okay? And the new pi is 3.144605511. So I'm going to post these up here. There it is. So the old pi is 3.141592654. The new pi is 3.144605511. So instead of 3.141, it's 3.144. That little bit of a difference changes the directory of Apophis. Changes it enough that instead of missing us by 18,000 miles, it hits us. So this is why I'm saying NASA is nervous. This is why they've launched this spacecraft they're shooting it straight at Apophis, so that when they get there, they can get a precise, exact calculation on whether or not this thing is going to hit us or not. So they have to take a look at this new definition of pi, the new calculation of pi, because the 1 kilogram was off in the weight. And it wasn't that it was off before. It's just that things change. Over time, there's a change in the weight of the exact same weight that they had, and put it away, pulled it out. It don't weigh exactly the same as it did. It's a hair off. And that's because of gravitational pull. I don't know. There's the scientists have all kinds of reasons why it would be off a hair. But here's the key. Do you just ignore that and just keep going with the calculation of the pi that we've been living with? Or do we take a look at this new calculation? And if we do, we have to look at, is this thing going to hit us or not? So guess what? NASA they've launched a spacecraft that's going straight toward Apophis. And it will go head straight toward it. They got to get it exactly right. They got to figure out the calculation. They got to know 100% for sure whether or not this thing hits us or not. Now, Dr. Thomas Horn, who wrote the book, The Wormwood Prophecy, which I have right here somewhere. Oh, and I have it by my bedside. That's where, because I've been reading it. And Dr. Horn was brilliant, a brilliant mind. And he wrote the book telling people they better prepare themselves. He says, he's basically saying this thing is bringing wormwood. He's not sure, just like I've been saying. I don't think it's going to hit us. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a scientist, but I don't know. But what are you bringing me, Heidi? Oh my Lord. Apples with caramel and chocolate. Oh my Lord. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a physicist. I'm not an astrophysicist, but I'm just telling you that Dr. Thomas Horn was concerned. There's other scientists now that have already sent letters to the White House saying, please get the best brilliant minds around the world and figure this thing out, because if pi has changed, then the direction of this asteroid has changed, and you got to figure this thing out. Now, they're never going to tell us that. They're never, ever going to tell us that. But there's a reason. You just don't send a spaceship straight toward Apophis unless there's a problem, unless you're afraid there could be a problem. I don't know the answer. I'm just giving you this information. I actually want to run this by Mike from around the world. I should have asked him last night, and we just got so many things was going on, I forgot to actually bring it up. But it's something to think about. Are you saved? The Bible says we're going to get hit with an asteroid. Revelation chapter 8. The Lord says it's going to happen. The question is this the one that does it? Or is this thing so big and it's bringing a lot of companion rocks, and one of them hit us? Revelation chapter 8.
The earth can shake, the sky come down, the mountains all fall to the ground. But I will fear none of those things. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Dark waters rise, the thunder pounds, the wheels of war are going round, and all the walls are crumbling. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Hide me underneath your wings. Hide me deep inside your heart. In your refuge, cover me. The world can shake, but Lord, I'm making you my hiding place. The wind will blow, the rain can pour, the deluge break, the tempest roars. But in that storm, my spirit sings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings.
It's caramel and chocolate covered apples.
Hide me underneath your wings. Hide me deep inside your heart. In your refuge, cover me. The world can shake, but Lord, I'm making you my hiding place. Now on that day, you call for me. Someday when time no more shall be, and I say, death, where
Oh, that's right, Lord.
In your refuge, cover
Psalms 91.
the world can shake, but
Lord, I'm making you my hiding place.
now on that day,
You call for me someday when time no more shall be. I say, death, where is your sting? Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Somebody shout, Psalms 91, the Lord will protect his redeemed. Guys, I tell you what, I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical.
This revolutionary new superheater can warm up.
No. We'll be right back, guys, in a little bit, right here on the coming apocalypse. Calculated. God's in control.